In goal number 30,
X.
Marco. At lefty number 8, Simon Howe. At left wing number 10, Jack Lee.
This guy's got them all wrong so far. It's Nye. That was wrong. Attila Lippi. Wow, he got that one right.
And center number 15, Matthew Gleason.
It's hard to mess up with Gleason.
Ladies and gentlemen, please move your caps as we play the national anthem.
And welcome to the Plymouth Ice Center as we get ready for day 2 of the Tradition at the PIC tournament today. Cretin-Derham Hall battling Blaine in our first game. You can see on the screen there a little information about these teams and how they did yesterday. The Raiders with a 6-1 win over Centennial. In the story in that game, Matthew Gleason, 4 goals, 2 assists for him. And he also became the leading scorer all time in Cretin-Derham Hall history, scoring his 102nd goal yesterday for his 4th one. So Gleason was the story for the Raiders in their win. Meanwhile, for Blaine, they scored 3 goals in the second period, and that made it a 5-3 win for the Bengals over Clocasco Carleton. And that was a nice win for the Bengals after they gave up the first goal in that game. And then both teams also in the top 10 of the MNHockey.tv power rankings that were released earlier this week. Blaine listed at number 9 and Cretin-Derham Hall at number 10. So going to be an exciting one here today. 2 very good teams, probably the game of the day so far. So we'll see what we get out of these teams. So we'll have face-off here at center ice to begin. As we'll get ready to go again, 17-minute periods. And then we'll have intermission after the first. Raiders looking for their 8th win in a row here today. They have won 7 in a row after starting 0-2 in the year, but obviously 7-0 since. So here we go. Gleason wins the opening faceoff here for Cretin-Derham Hall as they look to move up the ice. Gleason into the zone as he works alongside Finn Loftus for Blaine. Down low it'll go in the corner back to the other side here, where Jack Nye will play it for the Raiders. He had a good game as well yesterday for the Raiders, Jack Nye. Into the zone where it's gathered now by Loftus behind the net, and Rickles will play it up through the zone. Here's Jack Ryman across the line. Didn't work out, so it'll be played by Cretin at center. Attila Lippi into the zone as he comes off for the change. Fresh unit out there for the Raiders now on this ice. Bumped down into the corner by Rasmussen, but that didn't work out, and now taken a hold of by the Bengals at the line. Pass off the mark, so gathered in by Cretin-Derham Hall. Played right at the face-off circle as it's fired in by Sundriel towards the red line, or towards the blue line rather, but not into the zone. Now it will go as it's banked out of there by the Bengals. Sundriel stepping up again, and now here comes Cole Hansen. Hansen leaving it, nice move, trying to get it over, but kicked to the corner nicely there by Drew Fisher for the Raiders. Now outlet pass connecting up ahead as here comes the Raiders into the zone. Nice maneuver there by Chuck Altieri in front, nearly a chance for Rasmussen, but just rolled off the tape there. Now chop that in front. Raiders trying to grab it again. This one will bounce all the way back into their territory as Patrick Magnuson will play it up the right wing side. McCarthy in his own zone trying to connect there off the tape of Rasmussen as they'll hound it down in the corner. Nice hit applied back below the goal line. Rasmussen trying to throw it near the goal line area, but nothing working as the Bengals will take a hold of it now. 15 minutes to go in our first period of play. Blaine and Cretin-Derham Hall in game number 1 of day 2 of this tradition at the PIC tournament. Both these teams trying to make it a perfect 2-0 so far as Blaine beat Cloquet Esco Carlton yesterday and the Raiders beat Centennial. Up along the wall now, Raiders trying to break it out of the zone. Good work by Gleason to get it out, but dumped right back in off the backhand there by Walrath. And now up the boards again as the Raiders played up. Gleason, nice one-touch pass back into the zone. Come the Raiders as Nye had it roll off the tape on Jack Nye in the forecheck, but out come the Bengals the other way. Good speed across the line. Here's Schoberg swinging it across. And off the post, bad bounce in front. Bellick had to fight it off. That was a little bit of a knuckleballer there that Bellick somehow kept out. Now a battle in the corner as the Raiders grab a hold of it. And they come out through center. Here's Gleason with speed across the line. Gleason shoots. That one deflects out of play for the stoppage. So we will get our first stoppage of the game here. And we'll go back and take a look at this opportunity that just went off the post there. Good job by the Raiders defense clearing it out there and preventing that puck from rolling in. Tough shot there for a goaltender to stop. Across the line come the Bengals as they just stay onside. Rickles trying to get it there, but this one will float back into the Blaine zone as it's grabbed, but given away. Here's Fisher, leaves it in the slot, blocked there by the Bengals. Nice job there as they try and reverse back out through center. Rickles across, trying to find his man right at the line, dumped in and gathered in now by the Raiders as they fire it deep. And this will be an icing against Cretin-Derham Hall, so back down to the other end. 13:15 to go in our first period of play. Raiders yesterday, again, Matt Gleason had 4 goals and 2 assists. Jack Nye also had 3 points with a goal and 2 assists. So Preston Thelman getting on the score sheet as well with 2 assists. So some nice scoring point players for the Raiders. But of course, Matt Gleason was the star of the show yesterday. 4 goals and 2 assists for him. In the corner now, it will go back behind the Raider goal, or the Blaine goal rather, as the Raiders have it in the offensive zone. Swung across now for Thelman. His shot, rebound, scores! It popped right out of the glove, and the Raiders strike first here. It's 1-0. We'll go back and take a look at this one here on replay as the Raiders make it 1-0. Here we go on the replay. This is the shot from the point that just took a bad bounce right in front, and it was buried for the goal.
17 from 8 and 2.
So the goal for the Raiders is Luke McCarthy, assisted by Simon Hogue and Preston Thelman. So that is the goal for Cretin-Derham Hall. That gives them this 1-0 lead here as they look to try and get more right again off the tape there of the Raiders. Jake Fisher. Now Fisher trying to grab it as it's spun around out of the zone by Braden Lindsay and right back onto the tape of the Bengals. This one will go down the length of the ice and icing against Blaine here with 12:26 to go in the first period. 2-1 are the shots on goal in favor of Cretin-Derham Hall, who leads it 1-0 on that goal by Looks like Luke McCarthy for the Raiders. Off the draw into the corner here, right down in front off the tape of Gleason, as it'll be played right out of the zone nicely there by Carson Rickles across, holding on to it in front, and that one fought off by Bellick. I think Rickles just got a piece of it in front. Now up along the boards and played to the corner, trying to dig it out of the zone is Sundriel. Still swing it to the other side. Muffed on the pass there by Chris Walsh. And now taking a hold of right at the top of the circle by the Bengals. Raiders trying to bump it out. And now Gleason will flip it up through center as it's taken a hold of now by Blaine. Tape to tape across the line. Drop pass for Rickles, who swings it over off the skates. And good speed by the Raiders as they come out through center. Dumped in and a big hit there as Chris Walsh took a tumble to the ice. Thelman snags it in. Some of the Raider fans wanting a hook, but none called against Blaine as Thelman got tied up there along the wall. Into the corner, Thelman again as the Raiders try and break it out. Finally able to get it out to Blaine territory as McCarthy tries to track it down. Up through center, back into the Raider end. Here's Thelman gathering it for the Raiders. Banked off the boards and up to the left side and played out through center. That was Chuck Altier trying to play it for Cretin-Derham Hall. Bengals with it in their own zone. Busick grabbing it and connecting up at the line as the Raiders fire it back in. 10:44 to go in our first period of play. Blaine trailing Cretin-Derham Hall 1-0 on the goal by Luke McCarthy. Raiders with the quick shot that misses the net wide of the glove there of the Blaine starting goaler Ryan Wallen, who's getting the start today instead of Jonah Simonson, who did get the win 5-3 over Cloquet yesterday. Now here's the shot from Hansen that missed the mark, and the Raiders grab a hold of it now. 2-on-2 back the other way. Here they come into the zone. Fisher in the slot, leaves it. Big shot and a pad save there by the goaltender Wallen. Nice job kicking it away. Now Blaine back the other way, backhanded into their offensive zone as they'll make a couple of changes here. Magnuson fires it to the line, but not out. Here's Loftus with the shot. Nice save. Bellick fighting it off. Now kept in at the line by Mason Streeter. Raiders trying to get it out of the zone here as they're pinned up along in the corner. Wiegman back behind the net, taken down. Back up to the point it comes. Loftus over at the top of the circle, and this one will deflect out of play. So 9:37 to go in our first period. Let's go back and take a look at this opportunity earlier on the 2-on-2 here for the Raiders. And a drop pass in the slot, great chance. Better save, though, by Ryan Wallen, who has stopped 2 of the 3 shots he's faced so far in this early first period. There we go, getting that score graphic all back up on the screen. Across the line, Raiders come into the zone. Big shot and a save again by Wallen. That one came off the stick of Attila Lippi. In front again at Wallen, and they score! Right out in front, the Raiders bury it in front. That's Gleason, and it's 2-0. So Gleason going to get the goal.
15, 10, 11.
And the assist will go to Jack Nye and Attila Lippi, as you saw there on the replay. Make sure you hit the plus before you go to replay, okay? It's not showing up. Oh, there. Just next time. Down low into the corner now after the Raiders goal. They now lead it 2-0 here about halfway through this first period of play. Preston Thelman with the shot. Did it get through the traffic as it will go back down low behind the net. So Gleason picks up his 5th goal of the tournament already in just the first game and half a period. So Gleason has been on a roll here for the Raiders. Now Thelman with the shot, sticked away and up to the corner now as it's deflected just wide of the mark by a stick in front of the Blaine goal. tripped up on the play was McCarthy. No call from the official, so we play on. Now Busick grabbing a hold of it now in the corner as he's pinned up along the far boards. Flung back to the other side. Thelman pinching in here to grab it for the Raiders, but the Bengals will emerge free with it and move it up out of the zone as it's banked through center ice. Now grabbed by Cretin-Derham Hall as they fire it into the zone. 8 minutes to play in the first period. Raiders and Bengals duking it out here at the Plymouth Ice Center. Day 2 of the tradition at the PIC tournament. This is an offsides against Blaine, so we'll get a stoppage here. 7:51 to go in the period. Goals so far for Cretin, Luke McCarthy and Matthew Gleason are the 2 goal scorers for the Raiders as they win another face-off, but banks off the glass in Bengal offensive territory. Forced down to the corner now by Braden Lindsay, but nothing doing there as Fisher tries to play it ahead. Connecting on the tape here with Sundriel. On the outside, Sundriel, nice save, Wallen, and he scoops up the rebound and hangs on for the whistle here with 7:31 to go in the first period rather. 2-0 lead for the Cretin-Derham Hall. Goals from Gleason and McCarthy. Shots are 7-3 Raiders, and they'll have an offensive zone draw here on the right dot as Gleason, this is the top line, Attila Lippi, Jack Nye, and Matthew Gleason centering the 2 wingers. Now here's Rickles into the zone. Rickles shoots, saved by Bellick, rebound, and that one's off a Raider stick. Back behind the goal now. Nice pressure below the goal line from Walsh. Bengals keep it at the point. Scatters its way to the corner and bump back to the other side by Jack Ryman. Down low, Hansen moving it back around in front right off the tape there as it rolled around in the crease for a moment. Now in the slot, all kinds of Raiders jamming up the lane there as Gleason will come back with it the other way. Gleason takes a ride up into the Blaine bench. Nice hit there from the Bengals. And this one will go a little bit too far out of the reach of a teammate, so back down the other way, 6:42 to go in the first. Let's go back and take a look at this chance that we had earlier as Blaine comes into the zone and a lot of space to work with on the outside there from, looked like Carson Rickles into the zone for Blaine, so that was that earlier opportunity. But now back down to Raider territory, 6:40 to go. Here's the long shot from Thelman that was launched wide of the net. And now played up out of the zone as Thelman will grab it here for the Raiders. Banked off the boards and taken a hold of now by Finn Loftus and bumped forward once again. Here come the Bengals into the zone, but grabbed by Thelman right at the line as he tries to move it up ahead for the Raiders. Thelman flips it in off the glass. He'll come off for a change with the rest of the defense. Now into the corner as the Bengals move it up to the line, but not out. Nice keep there by Luke McCarthy and gathered in by Busick. He'll dish it off on the side here for Hansen. That's Hunter Hansen. Bellick is down, and the shot was blocked there by the Raiders right at the point. Now they score! Big wrister from Schoberg, and Blaine is back to within 1. See if we can catch this one on the replay here.
15 from 7. Hey, on Cretin, go ahead, 15 from 7. On Cretin's first goal, it should be 20 from 17 and 2. 20 from 17 and 2 on Cretin's first goal. 20 from 17 and 2 is what it should be.
So here's that chance. You take a look at the goaltender, Marco Bellick, down there on the scramble, and then it's buried by Blaine, and that was Cam Schoberg that gets the goal for the Bengals to make it 2-1. So we play on with 5:40 to go here in the first, as the Raiders still have the lead, but Cam Schoberg has cut the deficit in half here for the Bengals. Here is Fisher with it for the Raiders along the wall as he gets tied up. Now picking it up again. Fisher, shot, save, rebound, loose in front, and somehow that puck stayed out of the net. Great job by the Blaine defense in front, bailing out Wallen, as it will go back down low into the corner. Gus Cantwell. And now Played out by Blaine. Across the line, they'll dump it in. Be chased after here by Sundriel. Under 5 to play in our first frame. 2-1 lead for Cretin-Derham Hall over Blaine. Now tape to tape intercepted by Attila Lippi as he gets hounded by a couple of players. Now flipped up out of the zone by Blaine. Now gathered in by Ryman. Lager getting the assist on that goal for Blaine. Now down into the corner as the Raiders will come free with it. Here is the speedy Gleason. Across the line, Raiders just stay on side. Gleason shot deflects out of play. And we'll get another stoppage here. 4:18 to go. Let's take a look at this scramble again in front here. And you see that puck was just sitting right there on the goal line. And good awareness by Blaine to move it out of the zone and get it into the corner. That saved a goal that would have made it 3-1 Raiders. So nice job by Blaine on defense. Now here's the long shot from Thelman that didn't make its way through, just kept in at the line. Back up along that left wall now as Rickles will fire it off the skate of Thelman. Thelman plays it right at center for Gleason and then Lippi as Gleason takes it in. Here is Gleason, shoots, save just a piece of it there from Wallen as fresh off the ice comes Will Wiegman. Across the line, this will not be an icing as it was tipped up there by, looks like number 10 for Cretin-Derham Hall, Jack Nye. Now across the line here, they come in the zone. Rickles waiting, Loftus holding on to it on that left side. Banked up and thrown to the corner here as it's gathered in by Rickles. Top of the circle, Rickles getting whacked at here. Now that puck loose in the Raiders zone as it's kept in by Brzezinski. Brzezinski will cycle it back below the goal line and Rickles fires it up to the boards. Rickles pinned up along the wall and gathered in by Blaine back behind the net. Here's Brzezinski with the shot, bounces its way to the corner off a Raider body. Now Wiegman with the pin up on there by Rickles, and Brzezinski will get it back to the right point. Here's the wrister, just missed the net wide of Bellick to the right side and cleared down the length of the ice by the Raiders. So it will be an icing against them. 2:43 to go in the first frame here. 2-1 lead for Cretin-Derham Hall. There's a correction on that first goal by Cretin-Derham Hall. They originally gave it to Luke McCarthy, but now they're saying that Chuck Altier is the one that gets the goal. So Altier, and the primary assist will go to McCarthy, and the secondary assist will stick to Preston Thelman. Loftus with the shot, juicy rebound taken a hold of by Fisher as he moves it up the ice now. Here come the Raiders into the zone as they play it back below. Pass out in front of the slot area, nobody home, as it's taken on a long pass intended by Lager, but back comes Blaine into the zone. Here they come. Right off the tape there of Hunter Hansen as he whacks it down into the corner. In the slot, Hansen again had it roll off of his stick. Fired into the Blaine zone by Fisher. And that will take us to the 2-minute mark now of this first, where Cretin leads at 2-1. Goals from Gleason and Altier so far for the Raiders here today. Taking a hold of right at the Raider blue line. Bumped up off a stick. And the Bengals will regroup here. 9-6 are your shots in favor of Cretin-Derham Hall up to this point. Up along the wall. Lindsay trying to play it into the zone. Finally fired in there by Sean Schweiger. Big hit along the wall as a Raider player went down. In there to help him out was Gleason there for a moment as he waits for that puck to develop. And now Gleason will take a hold of it. Gleason flipping it into the right corner here for the Raiders. And a good keep at the line for a moment, but Blaine will take a hold of it, and we're going to have our first penalty of the game here against the Raiders. So it's a trip, and see if we can catch this one on replay here. Just a second. Trip on Lippi is the call. see this play develop along that near side boards, and then this is where you get that trip right there. So penalty against CDH. And off the draw, Blaine will take it. Here's Hansen holding on to it, bumping it back to the point. 1:01 to go in the period. Here's a quick shot. Bellick fights it up in the air, loose in front. Bellick scrambling to try and figure out where it is. And now Rickles will play it back up to the point. Loftus moving over. Hansen right there at the back door. Great stop by Bellick. Fighting it off, and they score! Oh, what a goal on the power play. Carson Rickles, lacrosse style. Oh my, we got to check this one out on the replay. And Rickles just pulled off an unreal goal. Watch this. Rickles will take it back behind the net on the replay and then move it up on the lacrosse goal. Unreal stuff from Carson Rickles. It looked like who got the goal. Couldn't tell exactly for sure, but we'll get a confirmation here in just a moment. But a power play goal for Blaine, and they make it 2-2 on the power play. Here's Gleason. And offsides here, 28.5 to go in the period. So Blaine has tied it up thanks to a power play goal. And Gleason will move it for Lippi off the face-off. Up the boards. Gleason trying to grab it, can't do so. Rickles with the goal there on the lacrosse style. That might be making its way to the Sports Center top 10 tonight. We'll see. That was some good stuff. Now here's Gleason across the line. 3 to go in the period. Gleason stumbling, trying to get a shot off, leaves it there, and that will do it for the end of the period. So great first period. The Raiders scored the first two, but the Bengals have the last two on the goal from Blaine. So 2-2 is your score after the first period. A good one in store. We'll take a break here along for the first intermission here. Blaine and Cretin-Derham Hall locked in a good one, 2 apiece. You're watching MNHockey.tv's coverage of the Tradition at the PIC tournament. We'll be back for period 2.
Too heavy? Try it.
I got it.
Lift it up. 1, 2, 3. Good. Looks great.
Wow, this looks amazing. Can I help you make a few?
Sure.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
Hi, I'm Derek. Nice to meet you. So how long have you been doing this?
2 years.
2 years. So you're an expert.
Yes.
Can you do one with my name?
Sure.
D-E-R-E-K?
D-R-E-K.
D-E-R-E-K.
D-E-R-E-K.
Yes.
Okay.
What's the ultimate dream for your business?
I really wish I had more bracelets to make every single day.
What do you do with the money?
We have this hunger project
Okay.
that I give back to the kids that don't have enough money to buy food.
So the more bracelets you make, the more money you raise, and then the more kids you can help out. How long have you had this dream?
10 years.
So you're 6 years old and you had the dream for 10 years. That's pretty good. That's someone that knows what they want to do in life.
Yeah.
Okay, now, what do you think about this?
Ooh. Yeah.
Pretty good?
Yep.
Okay.
Too heavy? Try it.
I got it.
Wow, this looks amazing. Can I help you make a few?
Sure.
You sure?
Huh?
Hi, I'm Derek. Nice to meet you. What's the ultimate dream for your business?
We have this hunger project
Okay.
that I give back to the kids to buy food.
How long have you had this dream?
10 years.
So you're 6 years old and you had the dream for 10 years. That's pretty good. That's someone that knows what they want to do in life.
Welcome back to the Plymouth Ice Center, period number 2 between Cretin-Derham Hall and Blaine, a 2-2 game after the first frame. And it was a good period. Raiders started out with a 2-0 lead, but then Blaine got 2 goals and it made things interesting at the end of the period, including a very pretty goal by Carson Rickles, which we'll show you here at our first stoppage of play. But that one may be making its way on SportsCenter here later this evening, so we'll see if we can get it up on our Twitter, MN Hockey TV, as soon as we can. But again, we'll show you that pretty goal by Rickles at our first stoppage of play. Raiders and Bengals, though, 2-2 as we begin the second frame. Bengals trying to move it out of the zone here to begin play, but played up the wall here by Schoberg, flipped up into the zone, and now rolling around into the corner. Bumped off the other way. Raiders trying to break out. Jack Nye up ahead here for Gleason. And Gleason up along the wall and couldn't move into the zone there. So back towards the center. Here come the Bengals into the zone. Nice move by Hansen trying to throw it in front. Rebound. Bellick fought it off there as well. Nice job by him. Up and out of the zone as the Raiders are able to move it up. Cam Schoberg plays it back below the Raider goal line as they'll move up ice. Just missed on the tape there, so back down to Raider territory for an icing here against Cretin-Derham Hall. Shots are 9 apiece in the early going, and our score deadlocked as well at 2. Huh? Oh, I forgot, sorry. Next one. Back underway. Raiders with it below the goal line, tied up here in the corner. Bengals keep it in the zone as Streeter fires it down low to Lager. Lager pinned up along the boards, and the Raiders will move it up out of the zone. As here they come across the line. Good speed from Sundriel. Got hooked there. Penalty coming up against Blaine, as this will be touched up, and we get the whistle for the penalty. Let's go back and take a look at this hook here on the play. Not showing up for some reason, but we'll get the penalty assessed to Blaine. 2 minutes in the box. And Raiders will get the power play here, and a good start to the Blaine penalty kill as they clear it down. Marco Bellick will leave it here for his defense, as here come the Raiders again. Top unit out there as Gleason works his way into the zone. Bengals trying to force it out. Schoberg was right there. He's got one of the 2 goals for Blaine, and now Thelman holding on to it. Thelman at the point, moves it over. Gleason down low into the corner. Held on to by Fisher. They'll swing it across to the other side for Simon Hogue and back for Thelman. Thelman, nice work at the line. Shoots, scores! Preston Thelman, a power play goal, and the Raiders are back in front, 3-2.
2-8-15, 2-8-15.
Let's watch this again, and you hear the scoring summary.
Holding.
And a nice shot fired into the back of the net. That's his Thelman from Hogue and Gleason, so Gleason will pick up an assist on the goal there for Cretin-Derham Hall, as now they get their lead back 3-2, a power play goal. As you can hear that play right up in front of our ice mic there, down low into the corner. So Thelman with a power play goal for the Raiders, and into the corner. Here's a wraparound try, good stick work there from Magnuson as it's moved out of the zone. Back into Raider territory. They're trying to strike again here. Into the corner, nice work by Chuck Altier. He's got one of the 3 Raider goals so far today. Flipped up out through center as Wiegman will move it back for Magnuson. And across the line, here come the Raiders into the zone. Here's Rasmussen dishing it up for Wiegman, and his shot echoes off the glass. Kept in by Rasmussen there for a moment, but right back out of the zone as the Bengals will play it into the corner. Right back down low as it goes swinging around to the other side behind the goaltender Marco Bellick. Played up out of the zone there by Cretin-Derham Hall, as will be played by the Bengals in their own end. 13:20 to go here, and right in front again. Here come the Raiders. Pad save there from Wallen, banked up to the point, kept in. Here's Sundriel, shoots, save there by Wallen as it's held on to by Wallen once again. 13:06 to go in the second period of play. Raiders on top 3-2 thanks to that power play goal from Preston Thelman. Blaine will make a couple of changes here and get ready for another face-off in the defensive zone. Flung back around to the other side where it's picked off by Wall. Shoots, sticked away by Wallen along to the far boards. Rickles trying to gather it in here as it's moved down low. Big hit in the corner. Raiders moving it back up to the point. Sundriel shoots, save. Rebound goes into the corner where it's played again by Fisher. Trying to get fancy with it. Bad bounce in front. Here's the shot, and that one blocked off the stick there of Brzezinski in front. Raiders nearly capitalizing on a lucky bounce. Now it'll sneak past Walsh as Hansen will fling it into the zone. Now the Bengals go with it behind the net here as it's pinned up along the boards. Right there, Bengals trying to keep it at the line. They move it over. Here's Hansen, shoots, Wall in the save, and the rebound will go into the corner as it's up in the air. Glove down at the line, and now swung out of there by the Raiders with 12 to go in the second period. Long pass up ahead. They're trying to catch the Raiders on a change, but icing call as Hansen wasn't able to touch it up there on the play. So back down to the Blaine zone here. Coming up next, we'll have St. Michael, Albertville, and Wyzetta in game number 2. Trojans coming off a thrilling win last night over Hill Murray in overtime, 4-3. Never led the game up until that point, but it was a really fun one. Probably one of the games of the year so far for high school hockey. So they'll take on St. Michael, Albertville in a late conference game here this afternoon. Back below the goal line, Raiders take a hold of it. This one fired wide of the mark as it's bumped back by Gleason. Just kept in at the line, but fanned on. And now Lindsay will come the other way. Trying to work his way into the zone is Lindsay, taking a hold of on the stick. Bengals around the outside. Sean Schweiger into the corner. Now bumped up right at the blue line. Here's a shot through traffic, but not through it, as it will be played up the boards here by Gleason, who takes a big hit along the wall. Some of the Raider fans wanting a penalty, and they are going to get one. It is a interference call, as Gleason was the one that was the target of the penalty. But Blaine going to go on the PK here. That will be Cam Schoberg that gets it. Let's watch that again here on the replay. Right there along the wall, you see Gleason trying to move into the zone, has nowhere to go, so that's where the interference comes. And that will set up a power play for Cretin. 2 minutes on the clock here as we get down to the other end. Bellick will just leave this one here for his defense as Blaine clears it out to begin the power play. Now the Raiders up through center again. Dancing into the zone is Sundriel. That's Jake Sundriel. Brother Zach also on this team, a defenseman number 6 for Cretin. Now Sundriel will just hold it back behind the goal and move it up through center. Raiders fire it in. 124 on the power play. Wallen leaves it here for the defense. Walsh keeps it at the line. Up along the boards now, Rasmussen with it. Bumps it to the right side and up to the point. Chris Walsh moves it over. Shooting, pad save, and the rebound cleared out of there by the Blaine defense. Nice job. And the Raiders will get a fresh new unit out there as Bellick coming way out to play it and now has to go to the corner. Dangerous moves there by Marco Bellick as the Raiders are having problems here in their own end. Gleason will just go back and press the reset button here. 45 to go on the Raider power play. Here's Gleason across the line, forced off the puck into the corner. Big hit along the wall, and once again Blaine getting it down the length of the ice here as Bellick will play it back below the goal line. Raiders back at center, fired in deep. And another bad bounce off those boards. That's the second time the Raiders have gotten an advantage to go their way. And now Blaine will clear it down. Bellick will just let it go dangerously in front of the net. Now here's a chance in the slot. They score! Short-handed goal, and Blaine is back in a tie game here as Hansen buries it. We'll watch this one on replay. Bad
18,
break for the
17,
Raiders.
25, 18, 17, 25.
Watch this. Bellick was thinking it was going to come around back the other way, and then they left Hansen all alone in front, and he buried it for the goal. So that's Cole Hansen on the scoring here for Blaine. And so he gets a shorthanded goal, still 7 to go on the power play for the Raiders, but a shorthanded goal for them. So Raiders and Bengals back to 3 apiece here after that goal. Now Ryman trying to work it into the zone as he dishes it off. Here's Hansen again, back door, and fought out of there. Now a one-timer from the point, nice block by the Raiders in front. Here they come the other way now into the zone. Good speed from Jake Fisher. Down into the corner now. Up to the point. Here's Walsh. Loads it up, fans on it, and Hansen will pick it up again. Hansen intercepted at the line. Raiders will tag up on the offsides. So back down into the corner now as Fisher tries to apply the pressure. Here's Jack Nye at the line, gets it back down below into the corner. And Raider fans wanting a trip there, but no call made as the Bengals move it up. Grab now as it's fired into the zone by the Raiders, but offsides as a player did not break the red line. So back down to the Raider end here, 3-3, a good one between Cretin-Derham Hall and Blaine, 2 of the top teams in the state, both in our MNHockey.tv top 10. And 3-3 is your score. 14-11 are the shots in favor of the Raiders, who are listed as the home team on the scoreboard here. Now trying to go to the far side as it's gathered along the wall and flung back behind the net. Here's Brzezinski with the wrister. Save there and broken up by the Raiders as they charge forward. Here's Gleason getting fancy with it, now moving it into the corner. Gleason around the outside, still holding. Gleason on the tape, fanned on, and still back up on his feet now after he went down. Nye banks it up for Wiegman. Here's Wiegman, his shot is deflected into the corner. And giveaway here. Trying to go in the slot there, but this one will skid out through center. And the Raiders will have to pick it up. 7:10 to go in this second frame. Giveaway in front, pad save Bellick. And the rebound pops out to the corner and played up along the wall. Raiders trying to enter the zone. They'll fling it in here on Wallen with under 7 to play in the period. Up the boards now as Hansen moves it up ahead for Busick. Busick into the zone and gathered by Rasmussen at the near boards. Rasmussen tape to tape up ahead. Here they come. Slowed down, nice pass. Trailerman shot, save, rebound, nothing. Great job by the goaltender Wallen to stand tall. And nice job making the stop. We'll watch it again on replay as you see the drop pass right there as the trailer man coming down the wing. Nice job on the save. So back to the action, 6:28 to go in the third, right there in front, and held on to by the goaltender Wallen. Sorry, 6:22 to go in our second period here. 3-3, a lot of scoring in this one. Both of these teams put up 5 goals yesterday. Cretin scored 6 actually, but Blaine had 5 in their win over the Cloquet Esco Carlton Lumberjacks. Battle for possession here right at the face-off circle. Raiders trying to move it, but it's intercepted by the Bengals. Now the Raiders come right back into the zone. Giveaway again as it's moved out by Lindsay. Across, here's Wallert trying to go in front. Nice defense from Preston Thelman for the Raiders. Now Thelman pinned up along the boards. Moves it up to the right wing side and banked out of there. Here is Gabe Rasmussen now. Rasmussen holding, shooting, saved by Wallen. And the rebound scooped up by the Blaine defense as they move up ice. Here's Streeter now. Good job from Mason Streeter. So move it into the corner here for Blaine. Big hit along the wall. Thelman scoots it over to the other side. Long stretch ice pass, just missed the mark. Wallen will just put the glove on it here with 5:18 to go in the period. Face off to the left of Wallen here. Jostling for possession. And now Blaine move it back behind the goal. Raiders snag it here in the corner, at least for a moment, as now Rickles will play it. Up ahead for Hansen. Both Rickles and Hansen have a goal. Hansen, nice move, and he fanned on it. Good job defensively, though, by the Raiders. They were aligned perfectly in front all alone. Bellick makes the stop, denying Jack Ryman. Bengals pressing here to try and take the lead. The right post save there by Bellick, and a nice job by Bellick, standing tall, and a couple of really good chances by the Bengals. They have not had a lead yet in this game, but they are pressing for one here as we're under 5 to go in the period. Off the draw, swung back around by the Raiders as it will be chopped down low into the corner. And back below the goal line. Picked up now by the Raiders as it's Chris Walsh moving up the boards here for Jack Nye, and intercepted at the line. Here they come. Gleason with the wrister, glove save, rebound, scores! It goes in. Matthew Gleason once again, and the Raiders make it 4-3.
15 unassisted.
Gleason unassisted on that goal, as we'll take a look at this one on replay. Let's take a look. You see Gleason with the speed, he uses it to his advantage, and Wallen just couldn't handle it there on the glove. And so the Raiders have another goal from Matthew Gleason, who has been on an absolute tear this tournament and making a name for himself in the Mr. Hockey running. Already was one of the favorites heading into the year, but I think you'd have to put him at number 1 after the kind of performance he's been having so far in this tournament. Bellman fires it into the corner now. And up along the boards, moved into the corner now. Bengals trying to move it out of the zone. Good keep by the Raiders. In front, good space, and that one off the iron, it looked like. Raiders nearly getting a 2-goal advantage again there, but Thelman will gather it up here for Cretin-Derham Hall. Thelman up the boards on that left side, and taken a hold of now by Jake Sundriel. Tell you what, that board is having a bad bounce. Whoever gets that side is going to be in good position for that period. It's been bouncing all over the place and creating prime positions for both Blaine and Cretin-Derham Hall so far today. Now pinned up along the wall, finally emerged free. Quick shot, Bellick makes the save, and Magnuson will cover up that rebound into the corner. Jack Nye now flings it up ahead, just a little bit too far out of the reach of Attila Lippi. And Leeson picks it up again. Leeson into the zone. What can he do this time? Leeson trying to cut inside. Got tied up there. No call, though, as we'll play on. Here's Streeter. Back the other way. Dumps it off. Wrist shot. Bellick with the stick save. And it will go way up into the air, into the corner now. Lindsay tied up with Nye. And the Raiders will move it up here. Trying to get it out was Wiegman. Gave it away. Fanned on in the slot. And Magnuson will scoop it to the corner. This one goes into the Blaine bench and out of place. So 2:19 to go in this second period. It was 2-2 after the first period. And 2 goals from the Raiders here in the second frame. And 1 from Blaine so far. We'll still have another 2:19 to go. So we'll see what we get here. Blaine trying to get this game back even again here. 2 of the top teams, though, in the state, Blaine and Cretin-Derham Hall, they were both ranked in our top 10 of the MN Hockey TV Power Rankings. Blaine at 9, Cretin-Derham Hall at 10. Big hit along the wall as this puck will come free at center. Good speed into the zone by Ryman. Around the outside. In front, try to tuck it in there, and they push it in. And that puck went in, but the ref was right there waving it off. And we're going to have maybe a penalty here. We'll see. Let's go back and take a look at this one here on replay. Maybe we can get that slowed down here for you. And you see the scramble in front of the net there.
30's got a rough. 30 white rough.
So Bellick is actually getting a penalty here, the goaltender for Cretin-Derham Hall, for roughing. So Bellick is going to have someone else serve the penalty for him here, obviously with 1:57 to go in the period. But Bellick obviously was not happy about what happened in front of the net there, and so the penalty will be served by Jake Fisher for Cretin-Derham Hall. So now the Bengals have the rest of the period to work with and on the power play, and if they don't score, they'll carry over 3 seconds into the third period. So rare to see a penalty called against the goalie, but that's what we get there as Marco Bellick gets a minor for roughing. Now off the draw, Blaine controls back up at the point. They swing it over for Loftus. Here's the wrist shot blocked there by Thelman. That was Rickles on the shot attempt. Now down low into the corner as Thelman will loft it up in the air and down the ice with 1:38 to go on the power play. 1:32 in the period. That is the more important number as Blaine will have some time carry over if they don't score. Big speed by Hansen across the line. Pumps the brakes and moves it back. Rickles across on that left side. Gleason lost his stick, picks it back up. Rickles back down low for Hansen off the tape. And Gleason will move it into the corner. Some of the Blaine fans wanted a trip there, but no penalty called. Flipped into the zone. 1:02 to go in the period. Blaine on the power play as they'll reset. Fisher on the forecheck for the Raiders. Bengals come the other way. Held onto on the left side by Carson Rickles. Banks it back up to the boards. Dumped off, nice move there. Here's some space, the lane. Bellick the save and the rebound. Taken a hold of there with 43.1 to go in the period. Take a look at that chance again there. Nice job by Bellick, not allowing much of a rebound there at all. So 43.1 to go in the period. Raiders with a 4-3 lead, trying to get to the intermission with that lead. Blaine though pressing on the power play here. Down low into the corner. Good physical presence as Lager gets bumped up along the wall. Falls to the ice, and now Walsh trying to get it out, but Streeter keeps. Here's Streeter, swings it across. Pad save by Bellick on the deflection. And back up to the point. Streeter and Brzezinski playing catch. Down low, 14 to play in the period. Back behind the net. Bengals take it again as they move it to the right side. Streeter, 7 to go. Goes to the back door. And The Raiders will take a hold of it and clear it down. That will do it for the second period. Cretin-Derham Hall leads it 4-3, and they will have just a few seconds of this power play remaining. Or Blaine will have a few seconds left of the power play for the third and final period. So a good one here at the Plymouth Ice Center. 4-3 lead for the Raiders after 2 periods of play. Stay with us as we'll have period number 3 coming up. Cretin-Derham Hall on top of Blaine, 4-3.
I think that being in a sport, it has built into it the concept that we are going to face a challenge. When we do sport the right way, we are teaching values. We're teaching kids how to be hard workers. We're teaching kids how to be courageous, to be fearless. Dynamites, because we have a focus on whole life youth development, physical, academic, social and spiritual excellence, we get that we're trying to develop people to be whole people. And I think that when you combine that mission with sport, I think you naturally get that. We have programs in each of those 4 areas. We have ice hockey for physical excellence. Academic excellence includes academic support like one-on-one tutoring. We have a summer academic camp. Social excellence includes our big community service project, Greg Carroll Learn to Skate, and also we're faith-based. So when kids are old enough, they have the choice to go to summer camp, kind of that traditional summer church camp. Every kid in the program has multiple mentors. If they're in tutoring, they have a very special mentor that's just their very own. And then of course the hockey coaches are mentors, and of course all the staff are mentors too. So we have a very high retention rate. Dynamite's high school graduation rate over 20 years is 85%. And over the last 5 years, 96% have graduated, which is really significant because right now Minneapolis Public Schools is reporting that their graduation rate is 53%. So that, I think, is another measure that shows that Dynamites is working. Being a faith-based organization, I think we're able to say things that are really powerful sometimes. We might say to the kids, like, we're gonna do some hard things today. And we want you to remember, we can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. A few minutes later, we might be asking them to do that hard thing, and you got heads down and panting, and remind them, remember, you have strength. God's given you the strength to do this. You have the strength that you need inside you right now. They might even remember the moments where they began to believe that, where they began to believe, I should be fearless. Only believe, do not fear.
Welcome back. Third period of play here at the Plymouth Ice Center. Cretin-Derham Hall and Blaine getting ready to go. It's been a good one so far. Raiders on top 4-3. They will have 3 seconds of a penalty kill here to begin this period, as there was a minor penalty assessed to Marco Bellick, the CDH goaltender, for roughing, and so they've killed off most of it, but just another 3 to go here. And here comes the Raiders now back at full strength. So we begin this third period of what is going to be a fun finish between these two teams. Here's a turnover as Nye had it just off the stick there for a moment. And now up along the boards. Bengals trying to get it out of the zone here as they fire it up the ice. Just off the tape, and Rickles will go back behind the net. Rickles bumps it off on the backhand onto the left side here, as Gleason moves it out of the zone. This will be an icing against the Raiders. So back down to the other end, 16:25 to go in our third period of play. Raiders, if they can hang on here, this would be their 8th win in a row. They started out the year 0-2 with losses to St. Thomas Academy and Eden Prairie. They have been unbeaten since that point, and they started out 5-0 in Suburban East Conference play. And then they picked up a win over Benilde St. Margaret's at the Catholic Cup Showcase. And then they also took down Centennial yesterday. That was 6-1, and they beat Benilde St. Margaret's 4-1. So a couple of good wins for the Raiders. And they are looking to make it their biggest one of the year so far. This would be the top team that the Raiders have beaten if they can hang on here for the victory. But still a lot of hockey to play. 16:07 exactly remaining in the period. Brzezinski fires it into the corner. Up along the wall, Brzezinski battling with Sundriel as he tries to lay it off here. And the Raiders will go back up the boards, picked off by Hunter Hansen. And now the Raiders will move out. Here they come across the line and into the zone. Here's Fisher in the corner, leaving it back behind the nets here as it's whacked away at the wall. Played up the boards, and the Bengals successfully move it out of the zone. Here's Lager gliding across the line. Backhander there by Hansen, missed the mark. Hansen back for Lager in front, and good defense by the Raiders as they once again move it out, and that will go into the Cretin-Derham Hall bench. So a stoppage of play here with 15:20 to go. Tomorrow, Cretin-Derham Hall will take on Section 6AA foe Blake. That was the team that knocked them out of the Section 6AA playoffs last year. 5-1 win for Blake in the quarterfinals there. So Raiders will have revenge on their mind for sure tomorrow afternoon as they will play Blake, and that one will start at 5 o'clock. So Blake and Cretin-Derham Hall, that will be our second to last game here at the tournament. Bengals trying to move it up. Good play there by Wiegman in front of our ice mic. And thrown up by the Bengals as they connect the pass here into the zone. Schweiger's shot sticked away by Bellick into the netting and out of play. Meanwhile, for Blaine, they will take on Wayzata tomorrow. That's going to be a fun one to close out the tournament. Blaine and Wayzata, 7:30 tomorrow night. So Wayzata, one of the hottest teams in the state right now, and they just had a big statement win over Hill Murray last night in overtime, 4-3. Now here's a fan shot attempt, and Gleason will come the other way. Gleason lost it in the wickets, so that will slow it down, but he gets it back. Here's Gleason, backhander save by Wallen as it goes to the corner. Now a giveaway by Lippi. 2-on-2 back the other way for the Bengals, as nice stick work there from Simon Hogue. Now Gleason into the zone. Gleason forced to the outside. In front, juicy rebound. No, it just went over the top. Jack Nye just had a roll right off his tape. Now here's a wrister again, blocked in front by the Bengals, and now they come the other way. Great action here at the Plymouth Ice Center, and the Bengals are off sides as Streeter just couldn't hang on to it. Boy, Jack Nye was just about 2 inches away from making it 5-3, and let's watch here on the replay. And this puck right there. Oh, Nye just missed it by a couple of inches. And that keeps this game at 4-3 Raiders. So back to the action now as Blaine has it in the zone. Back down to the other end as Preston Thelman will play it up the boards now. Giveaway here as Blaine keeps the line. Quick shot into the glove of Bellick. That one was probably going wide, but nice job by him to snag it. Then let's go back and take a look at this other chance here for the Raiders. This was the steal from Gleason where he nearly worked it in front of the net, and then that rebound was sitting there for a minute. So nice job by the Raiders, just can't finish. And so it will go back down for an icing against Cretin-Derham Hall again. But the story of the game, really the whole weekend so far for the Raiders, has been Matthew Gleason and the numbers that he put up. He had 6 points yesterday, 4 goals, 2 assists. He's got 2 goals, and I'm pretty sure he has an assist as well. And can't officially confirm that, but right now he's got 9 total through less than the first 2 games. The first game in 2 periods. So Gleason continuing to get those points, and he had 30 entering the day in 9 games, and he'll move that number up even more after the conclusion of this game. Thrown right out in front. Nice move there by Hunter Hansen. Penalty coming up against the Bengals. This is going to be a trip, and Cretin-Derham Hall will go back to the power play where they've had some success here today. We'll go ahead and take a look at that trip here on the replay. And you see it right there as the man goes down. So Hunter Hansen will sit for 2 here for the penalty, and Cretin will get a chance to extend the lead here. Nice win of the draw as Thelman gathers it. He'll swing it across. Here is Hogue back on that left side, down low. Raiders trying to position themselves in front of the net. Nice job by Preston Thelman right at the line. Hit into the corner. Now the Raiders will continue to hustle and hack after it here on this power play. Down low. Tape to tape. Back up to the point. Here's Thelman. Thelman holding on to it. 1:30 to go on the power play. Big wrister there. And it was blocked into the corner for the Raiders. Hogue on it there, and as well as Nye. And now Thelman. Here is Preston Thelman waiting and swinging it across. Down low as Gleason dishes it off. Back to Gleason at the top of the circle. Gleason down low in the slot. Hogue on the backhand as he stumbled to the ice. And now back onto the tape. Gleason right back to Hogue. Shoots, scores! Deflected in front. Another Raider power play goal, and it is 5-3. Take a look at this one on a replay. Good job by the Raiders positioning themselves in front. And that one definitely caught some stick in front, so.
10 from 2 and 15.
So Jack Nye gets the goal for Cretin-Derham Hall. Nye has had a good weekend. And Gleason gets another assist, as does Preston Thelman. Those 3 really, Nye, Thelman, and Gleason, have been probably the best players on the ice so far for the Raiders. Good play into the corner now. Magnuson scooping it up the boards. Now Wallert fires it into the netting and out of play. So another power play goal for the Raiders, and now their lead is back up to 2. And this is the first time that the Raiders have had a 2-goal lead since the first period, where they led 2-0. It's been ever since that first Wyzetta goal, or their first Blaine goal went in, it's been a 1-goal game since. So now Brzezinski swinging it across. Back up the boards now. Magnuson pushing it down into the corner and thrown right out in front, just missed the tape. Brzezinski down into the corner. Wiegman and Streeter keeping it into the zone. Big wrister, saved by Bellick. Magnuson gathers the rebound, but not out. Good keep. Around the outside, Lindsay with it for the Bengals. Here's Lindsay Bumped off the puck. Penalty coming up here against Cretin once they touch it. So Wallen will go to the bench. Brzezinski will leave it here as Blaine has the extra attacker 6-on-5. Find a man at the back door now as here's Rickles. Pinned up by Wiegman, and that will stop it here. And we'll get a roughing call against the Raiders. So the Bengals will go to the power play.
12.
And Rasmussen going to be the one that goes to the box. Here is where the penalty occurred here. Rasmussen with the hit there a little bit late. That's where that rough call comes in. So the Raiders will go shorthanded here. And Blaine has a big chance on the power play to try and get this game within one. Here's Hansen now swinging it across as the Bengals move it to the point. Here's Loftus down low. Hansen holding on to it, moving it to the left circle. Hansen, and cleared out of the zone by the Raiders as they get it down the length of the ice. 10:24 to go in the third, 1:33 left on the Blaine power play. Rickles moving it up the boards now as they connect across the line. Here's a big windup, and Bellick able to just get a piece of it there as it goes out of play. 1:23 left on the power play for Blaine, and 10:12 to go in the period. Blaine still has a lot of time to work with here to try and get this game back even, but they need to get something going soon. Here's Loftus dishing it over, and now back to the point. Loftus moves it back. Good passing here on the right side. Top of the circle, and that one way off the glass, and it will echo all the way back down into Blaine territory. Loftus dishing it here for Rickles. Nice job by Gleason, killing off some more time, and still get it down the ice and come off for a change. Blaine trying to move up through center, and a drop pass here connects with Rickles, taken away. Here come the Raiders breakaway. Pat save, Wallen. Nice job. It looked like it was Fisher that time that was on the breakaway for the Raiders. Drew Fisher for Cretin-Derham Hall. Let's watch this. Here's Fisher all alone, and Wallen extends the pad to make the stop. So nice job. That would have been a shorthanded goal for the Raiders, and they scored 2 of them yesterday against Centennial. So good job by Wallen keeping this thing within reach here for Blaine. Back into the zone, held on to along the right boards, avoiding a check with Schoberg, and connecting on the left side up to the point. Brzezinski moves it back down for Busick and Schoberg. Back to Busick, and that one's off the side of the net. Busick trying to catch Marco Bellick off guard. Now taken away maybe again, but Busick, or Brzezinski rather, will go back and straighten things up for Blaine. Brzezinski, and now played in by Mason Streeter. Nice moves by Streeter, but forced to the corner by the Raiders defense. Interference coming up here against Blaine, and that will give the Raiders a power play now after just killing it off. They will go back on the power play, so chance to put the dagger in here. What happened? Oh, you're good. No worries. Streeter will sit for 2 on the interference call here. And so the Raiders will get a chance to make it a 3-goal game here on the power play, as Gleason be the one to take the draw. Wins it back to Thelman, but out of his reach, so he'll go back and hunt it down. Now swinging it across. Hogue and Thelman come up. Here's Preston Thelman tape to tape. Into the corner now as Ryman clears it down. Nice clear for the Bengals. Bellick will let this one just skip by. Simon Hogue gathering it here, 1:34 to go on the Raider power play. Preston Thelman into the zone off the backhand now for the Raiders. Giveaway in front, all alone, dishes there, and a save. Rebound picked up by the Raiders back down low. Here's Fisher. holding on to it, trying to go to the back door again as Gleason awaits. Now Gleason with it, picking it up here. Gleason down low, dishes it off in front. They score! Power play goal for the Raiders, and it's 6-3. Buried in front there. We'll watch this one again here on the replay. And nicely done in front.
10-22.
That was Jack Nye burying it
8.
for the goal. So Nye picks up another goal. Him and Gleason both have 2 goals on the day. So Jack Nye making it 6-3 Raiders. They now have their largest lead of the game at 3 goals. So power play goal from Jack Nye. Raiders keep moving up the score now. Up the boards now. Here's Streeter into the zone, or Schweitzer rather. Schweiger will just throw it in, and Bellick will scoop it up. And 7:27 to go. Assist going to Drew Fisher and Simon Hogue on the goal for the Raiders. Off the draw, back down below. Up the boards, Rasmussen connects here across the line, but McCarthy a little bit too antsy, and so we'll do it again. 7:19 to go here in the third period. The Raiders have scored 2 here in the third period to make it that lead, and they scored the first 2 of the game. We played it pretty even for a while, but then the Bengals have given up 3 in a row here, as we were at 3-3 at one point, but right now 3 unanswered for the Raiders in their white jerseys, their typical home uniforms that they wear at Highland Arena in St. Paul. Now back below the goal line, McCarthy playing it, and we are getting a whistle here. Might have a penalty. Looks like the net just came off. So for Blaine, this will be only their 3rd loss of the season if the result holds. Their other 2 losses, they lost Hale Murray 4-2 on opening night on the 27th of November, and then they also lost to Duluth East on the 14th, and that was a 4-1 loss. So other than that, the Bengals have been really good on the season, but they need a desperate comeback effort. Here's Lippi, and a great goal. What a finish. And Attila Lippi buries it, and the Raiders are starting to run away with it here at 7-3. This was a pretty one, as we'll take a look at it again here.
11 from 21.
Watch this move. Cuts inside and buries it. What a shot from Attila Lippi. So that's his first goal of the weekend so far, and the Raiders starting to lay it on here. And they have dominated this third period. That is now 3 goals just alone in this period. And a penalty coming up now, a roughing call. And I think this one's going to be against Brzezinski. So Raiders going to go back to the power play, already with a big lead. Make sure you grab a score sheet picture after the game. Power play time for the Raiders again. And they have a big lead to work with now. This game was close for the first 2 periods, but the Raiders have just been dominating here in this third. They'll go back and reset here and get things started. Across the line, nice outlet pass. That one just missed the tape of Gleason. And once again, the Bengals clear it down the length of the ice. Bellick will come out to play it here for the Raiders. Here's Preston Thelman. Nice move. Fires it into the corner now, but once again, Blaine will clear it down the ice. 5:48 to go in the period. Here's the shot. Bellick save, a rebound, a clear to the corner nicely there by Fisher. And it will go back along the boards. Big hit applied there as Gleason gathers it behind the net. They'll wait for some room to operate here. Here is Matthew Gleason cutting inside, dumps it off, gets tied up. Now the Bengals flip it down the ice here. Not a lot of room to work with here for the Raiders on this power play, but they do have a 4-goal lead, 7-3. 42 to go on the Cretin-Derham Hall power play. And Thelman will come into the zone. And they are offside. Sundriel just couldn't hold up there. So we'll stop it at 5:01. Raiders closing in on their 8th win in a row. They can, obviously, if this result holds, which Blaine would need about a goal every minute in 25 seconds or so to have a chance at coming back. But this one will be gathered up by McCarthy here for the Raiders. Fires it off the boards. Back behind the net, Wallen will go and leave it, and this one will be an icing, looks like here. So back to Raider territory. Raiders are going to have another tough test tomorrow. They play Blake at, looks like 5 o'clock here. And Blake, another team in the Let's Play Hockey Top 20. And that was a team, again, that knocked the Raiders out of the section tournament last year, Section 6AA. And Blaine, they will be taking on, let's see here, tomorrow they will be facing off against Wayzata tomorrow night. So they'll play a Lake Conference opponent, the host of this tournament. That'll be a tough bounce back for Blaine. Here's a chance in front, they score. The Raiders are just piling it on here as it is now 8-3. Buried in front, that's gonna be a even strength goal as the penalty had expired. Right place, right time here for the Raiders as they scoop it in front.
20, 17, 21.
That is Chuck Altier with his second of the game, and Luke McCarthy on the primary assist. Chris Walsh on the secondary assist for the Raiders. So what has turned out to be a blowout after a great first 2 periods between these teams. But the Raiders have scored 4 here in the third alone, and we still have 4 minutes to play. So the Raiders have been good. West into the corner as Wiegman will play it up the boards. Flipped up along the wall. Played up here by Wiegman. Down into Blaine territory here, 3:36 to go. And the Raiders have really just piled it on here in the last few minutes or so. Rickles will go back. Wiegman back behind the net now for the Raiders. Up the boards as he connects. Broken up on that pass. Right out in front. This one will sail off the glass. A big windup into the netting, out of play. 3:09 to go in the third, but once again, Matt Gleason finding his way on the score sheet many times for the Raiders. Hasn't gotten on the last 2 goals, but pretty much throughout the day, he has been a constant for the Raiders. And of course, for those that don't know, Gleason committed to Colorado College back a few years ago, and will probably end up playing in the USHL with the Chicago Steel next year, and then go on to Colorado College the year following. But he's been fun to watch, and of course, he'll be a candidate probably in the final ones for Mr. Hockey. And last year's Mr. Hockey, Bryce Brodzinski, of course, was on this Blaine team that made it to the state tournament. So Cretin-Derham Hall could definitely be in contention in 6AA. They've got a tough opponents in there: Edina, Benilde St. Margaret's, Wayzata, Blake. Even Holy Angels has been a lot better this year, so those are just some of those difficult teams that the Raiders may be facing. But it will be fun to watch this Raider team throughout the years. They're closing in on 8 straight wins. Now here is Gleason into the zone, trying to get fancy with it as it goes to the corner. Now nice pass up in front here. Sundriel loads it up wide. Gleason on the follow-up as it ricocheted off the glass. Now up through center. Pass just missed on the attempt there for Bryce Lager and into the corner. And the pass now for Attila Lippi. Here's Lippi. Nice moves and goes hard to the ice, and the rebound scooped up below the net. Right there is Walsh as he'll fire it down low. Nye in front looking for Lippi, and Wallen just scoops that in with the glove for the whistle. So another stoppage, a minute 35 to go here as Cretin-Derham Hall has hit 8 on the score sheet. Raiders have put up a lot of goals though throughout the year. They had 10 against Irondale back on December 12th, and they also had 11 against Roseville on the 14th. Those were both Suburban East games, or the Roseville game was at least. And then the Raiders, this mean 8 will be their 3rd highest total of the season, unless they somehow pick up 2 more here in the last minute 18. Have a couple of penalties coming up here. I think coincidental minors, 1 against each team. And so Wiegman will go to the box. Actually, just the 1 penalty looks like on Will Wiegman for the Raiders. And a late power play that really doesn't mean anything for the Bengals. So held on to now by Wallen as he'll dish it below the goal line. 1:06 to go as Blaine will try and at least get 1 more on the scoreboard. Bad bounce off the wall in front, and Bellick makes the save. I'll tell you what, that board has just been a problem all day long here for both of these defenses that have had to defend on this side. Batted down with a stick, but no high stick as Ryman will play it. Under a minute now, but the Raiders have made some noise here today. They are going to pick up a statement win over a really, really good Blaine team. And you can bet that the Raiders are going to be moving up in our MNHockey.tv power rankings. And they'll look to try and complete the perfect tradition at the PIC sweep tomorrow when they play, looks like Blake tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So Raiders, they dominated this 3rd period. 4 goals. It was a 1-goal game after 3 periods, and then it was all Raiders as Lippi had a couple of goals, Leeson had a couple of goals, Jack Nye had a couple of goals. All kinds of scores here today for Cretin-Derham Hall. So off the draw, 5 seconds to go. 1 last chance for Blaine as they'll throw it out in front, and they score with 1 on the clock, and that will count. But the final score, Cretin-Derham Hall 8, Blaine 4, and the Raiders make noise with 4
18 and 14 on the
3rd period goals.
20 from 18 and 14.
As that last goal at the buzzer, Jack Ryman, will count. So 8-4 again, the final. Raiders beat the Bengals. Cretin-Derham Hall with a big win here today, as a great job all around by the Raiders. Blaine just couldn't hold up here in the 3rd period, as that will pretty much do it here for the Plymouth Ice Center. So again, the final score here, it is the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders 8 and the Blaine Bengals 4. We had a high-scoring affair here at the tradition at the PIC tournament. Raiders will be back in action tomorrow against Blake. Blaine will take on Wyzetta tomorrow at 7:30. We'll have STMA and Wyzetta coming up next here for you. Stay tuned for more hockey on MNHockey.tv. Thanks for joining us for our entire crew. David Hillen on producing and Natalie Stevens on camera. I'm Matt Harrington saying so long from the Plymouth Ice Center.